This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. Question for you. Why are you working so hard? Why are you pushing yourself? Why are you doing that? Probably because your parents did it and their grandparents did it, and that's been programmed in you. And now you, depending on your age, and now you got to keep pushing because you think that's the way it's supposed to be. But is it really supposed to be that way? What if you could push less, get more done, have more relaxation, and achieve your goals? Imagine that. We're going to talk about that today. She's somebody that can help give you that transformation, feeling balanced, grounded, feeling trust in the universe. She's done it. I'm on a journey too. I'm seeing this. I can't believe we're talking about it because I was wrestling with this earlier today. We're going to dig into this today with somebody who's got so much insight on this. Dawn Cannon, back on the program. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
This whole topic intrigues me because a younger generation doesn't seem to push the same way as an older generation does. Mm-hmm. And they actually kind of broke the mold a little bit. And then COVID came along. Then you could work from home and it kind of, the values came more apparent, but we still push hard. Like still on that treadmill. Go, 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 go. You experienced this in another life, I like to say. Tell us about that.
Another life is exactly how it feels.
Yeah, right.
I feel like
Doesn't
that was
it?
a totally different version of me.
Right.
I too bought into the way my parents raised me, kind of thing. Everything was hard work. This time 2 years ago, I was the COO of a bank, and actually, you brought up COVID, and I think COVID's kind of an interesting lens to look through my journey and how I started to see things more clearly. So before COVID, I had taken a 2.5-year sabbatical from the corporate world, did my yoga teacher training, kind of became a different person in my own healing journey, but then went through a divorce, needed to go back to work for a paycheck. And it was March of 2020 that I found myself re-entering the workforce.
Look at that time. Look at that timing right there.
I know. I've always been that way. Like I'm in the opposite lane of the freeway that's busy. That's just, I'm not sure what that says, but, and so I went back to work in March of 2020 and I went back as a totally different person. Before that, people pleasing really was the lead. I felt an obligation to do a lot of things that were beyond maybe what I needed to commit to. Mm-hmm. And when I went back, I had better boundaries. I knew myself better. But COVID was an interesting time to manage people because people, as they got more freedom and working from home, they started to question this thing where we push. And as a manager of people, it was frustrating to get things done and whatnot. But as a observer of people, I admired the younger generation that was kind of willing to just go, why are we doing this?
But okay,
and the more I questioned that.
Can I jump in for a second?
Yes,
and say,
please.
When that first started, when that first started, that different way of looking at things, I feel that many of us who are older than they at that time looked at them in a negative way. Well, slacker.
I sat on a team of people who did just that. Yes. And I was conflicted. I saw both sides.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny when you look back now it's like, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be.
That the more we step back, and it's not, there is a place for push. Like I love attaining goals, but not from like an empty cup. It's like figuring out how do we fill our own cup first and then move from that place. That's where the magic is.
Yeah. What was the turning point for you where you realized that this needs to change? Like I am just, like we said on that treadmill of blah, 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 move, keep moving forward. Where was the pivotal point where your wake up came?
it was a cup. So when I first went back to the corporate world, there was a lot of it that felt very empowering, kind of like taking my career back on different terms. But a couple of years in, 3 years maybe after I had gone back, I found myself, my meditation practice started to really bloom. And on Saturday mornings, I would go out. I had this amazing backyard at the time. I've since downsized homes, but I would sit next to my fountain early in the morning,
Mm.
meditate, journal, do all these things, pull cards, things that just felt like filling my soul. And it started with like a commitment to do that for myself 20 minutes a day. And then on Saturdays, it started stretching longer and longer. And it got to where sometimes I'd be out there for 3, 4 hours in this like total state of bliss, just relaxed, letting myself do nothing. There were those thoughts that were like driving the worth comes from doing. um, but the more I committed to filling my cup, the more I started to realize all the places that were pulling from it. And so I would then go back to work on Monday morning and feel that harsh,
Like
like
here
hit
we go.
upside the head. That's the
Yeah, here
opposite
we
of
go
what it was
again.
like. And
Mm.
I realized how much I had changed, but the way we run the corporate world hadn't. And I just hit this
Mm.
place of like, what am I doing it for? I guess so my bank account gets bigger and bigger, because that's what society tells me I should do. And don't get me wrong, there was a part of my team and things. I love the people there. But I just felt this call to pursue that thing I had on Saturday mornings,
Good
whatever
for
that
you.
was.
Thank you for sharing that. And I wish I got that call because I had that backyard and this was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I took on other responsibilities. I was a manager. I was of a radio group. I was on air. I have a marketing company. I renovated that backyard.
Yep.
And it's beautiful. Man, I like tropical. I had palm trees. It was like amazing. I did hands in the dirt and I loved it and everything. Gave myself an ulcer. Gave my,
No, I did that too. I
oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah.
I did those steps first.
And as I look back, I see you in your backyard, and then I see me in my backyard at the time. And I downsized too a few years
Yep.
ago. Same exact thing. And I look back now and think, yes, I came, I conquered it, I created something for my family,
Yeah.
and that's all good. Came at a price,
Yep.
my health.
Yep.
But I didn't have those moments. I wasn't sitting there thinking, "Yeah, take this and enjoy it." I did occasionally, but then I'd be like, there's a weed right over there. Let me get up and get that while I was relaxing. Now I see it in a totally different way. And I
Yep.
guess I wasn't ready.
Yeah. No, that's I think just it. I was in a place where I just have one kid left at home now. It's a little easier to support one kid on a yoga teacher salary than three. And so I think a lot of it is timing. It's when you're ready and when life circumstances allow it.
Totally. Totally. And your weekend ritual, I only realized that about a year ago because I would talk with friends and it'd be Saturday or Sunday, 11 o'clock. Yeah, I'm still in bed. I'm just relaxing. I'm like, what? The day's half over. You're
I know.
still in bed. It's sunny
I
and
used to
it's
judge those people.
78 degrees outside. What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Until I felt I needed to. I was getting sick. So now, Saturday or Sunday, I lay in. I
Yeah.
DoorDash breakfast. I treat myself like $20. I'm a king.
Yep.
Um, and then I finally realize doing nothing is actually doing something.
Yeah. It's doing a
Never
lot
got it.
actually.
That took up a year ago. I figured that out. And
Yep.
even it's been a very busy summer, and I'm not taking anything. It was great. Let me do this. Let me go here. Where are you going? What are we doing? Blah, blah, blah. Now that summer's kind of over, I'm actually tapping the brakes. And I was even
Yep.
texting with a friend last night. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to be back in my bed.
That's
I
it.
was in bed last night at like 8 something. Never, ever happens. Why? I was depleted. I
Yeah.
needed, just a recharge. Um, we need to get out of that mindset. Anybody yes, we need to make money and all of that, but how do you have something called Rest to Rise.
Yeah. So it's a
And
course. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
you tell us about it before we go
It's
further.
a course I created for just this journey. Um, I think a lot of people assume I would say everybody should leave the corporate world like I did because I'm in this, I love this place. But what I realized when I left is it's not about what you choose to do for a living, like do what lights you up, all those things. It's more about doing things with intention. And so I have found that if you can make rest something that is a self care practice you do with intention, it makes all the difference in the world. Like to think of it as I'm going to rest before I do this big thing, it makes your big thing easier. Your cup's full, it's more enjoyable, there's more passion. Um, if anybody that goes to a corporate job and it lights them up, they should keep doing that. That's great. But it's finding that balance of what are the things I'm doing for myself that are letting me rest.
Mm.
I always had that habit of when life got hard, I poured more on. I think
Yeah.
a lot of us with childhood trauma, that's kind of a thing. uh,
Yes.
Worth comes from doing. And when I broke that mold, I realized how much of it was me. Like when I left the corporate world, I would have told you it was 50% them. That's not the case. It's all in how you approach it mentally and get your mind around it. And so for me, a practice I found, my course is a lot about yoga nidra, which in when you hear yoga, you think it means or movement and poses. This
Yep.
type of yoga is all about meditation.
Wow.
And it's this deep state of rest in your body where you become aware of everything. And it allowed me to really start seeing my own patterns, all those kind of things that were like, oh, if I could just rest, then when I meet my goal, it's a whole lot easier.
Why are we wired, many of us, when something changes, like there's a little change, let's say you do sales and let's say uh, you lost a big account or they went, they made
Yeah.
changes, not you, not your performance. Things happen. They change.
Yeah.
Many of us go into
Spiral. Yeah.
freak mode, freak mode. All right, I'll try to
Yep.
keep it harder, harder. Okay. And literally you freak out. Been there, done that. I don't do sales, but I have a company and things change from time to time. Very rare,
Yep.
but when it does, I used to let it, I guess, trigger me. And
Mm-hmm.
now I look at it as an opportunity where,
Yep.
let's say something went away, a client, whatever, the opportunity would be, well, now I have more time to maybe find others, maybe
Yeah.
more, maybe find some time for myself so that I can, like you said, have more fuel in the engine to,
Yep.
to move forward. But we don't look at it that way. And it's probably, well, you know what it comes back down to? Fear. It's all fear.
It is. And it's that many of us tie our worth to like what we do.
Yeah.
And society praises that. So no one's at, there's not fault there or judgment there. We all have components of that. Um, but when you can break that mold and realize you have worth just by existing,
Right.
and what I choose to do is great, that like it's more of a choice versus I have to do so that I'm valuable to society or something. Breaking the mold is kind of the key, I think.
I'm totally get it. And it's not easy. You need somebody
No.
to help you see it
Yep.
in a different way. Um, where I did, I'd see friends, I speak with people like you just because you're stuck in your mode of just doing the same thing all the
Yep.
time. I'm going to be transparent here. So I always am, but this is in real time based on what we're talking about. Let's see. 3 months ago, I went away. I was just a long weekend by myself. Never really did it. Never really did that. I've gone away and met up with people. So I did it then, and it was great. Went to another country. I knew somebody there, but I didn't even hang with them. And I even said when I got there, and they were with somebody else, like, do your own thing, man. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I'm good. It was awkward the first 2 days of coming down and just getting into the mode of relaxing, reading, reflecting, right on the ocean. Beautiful.
Yep.
very cost effective. It was, I went through an Airbnb in a condo complex that's kept like a major hotel. Amazing,
Yep.
meticulous, it's beautiful. And it was great. And I was thinking, you know what? I should go back. You deserve
Yep.
to go back. You need some more of that. Just fill that cup up again. I would plan it. I didn't book the flights. Again, it's cheap. It's almost unbelievable. I tell you the numbers. It's almost how could you not go? This 2 hours ago, I bought the plane
Push
tickets.
send. Good job.
But I question it. Like, did you you only went 3 months ago, blah, 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 for a few days. And I know it's going to now it'll be even more beneficial because I got the lay of the land and I can acclimate even faster. And
Yep.
just reading and just relaxing and just having time, um, w- it's against what I normally do. So it was
Yep.
almost hard to like I hold off like 2 weeks, pressing the submit to buy the tickets. We're wired that way.
Yeah. Well, and it's like this radical act then to go against it. It feels empowering too. Like that's, when you go, it feels amazing because you had to fight something so big to get there. Something silly, really. Our own demons, I guess.
Yes. And even as we're talking now, it comes clearer that that was the right choice.
Yep.
And anything can happen. I don't anticipate anything. I have, $30 insurance on the tickets and the Airbnb, they're fine with, not even I paid when I got there, not even a down payment. It was like,
Yeah.
it's all the pieces are perfect. Um, but I still struggled with it.
The funny thing for me is every time I do that, afterwards, something like there's a story I told myself, I can't go the week without income or whatever it is. And yet afterwards, something bigger always comes in. It's like by resting, by doing the thing for me, I created space for it and now it shows up. I can't explain it,
I got it though.
but it's just happened over and over again, so I now trust it.
Yes, and I do trust it, but it's the responsible Steve.
I
That's
get it. Yep.
that's where it comes in. Well, what if this and yeah, take care of that? Like blanket, just do it. Life
Yep.
is short. Life is short.
Yep.
There's so many things that make sense, and even a few days away, right down to the plane tickets. Like it's almost like, is this a mistake? How could it be that cheap? And but that's the way it is.
It's meant to be.
It's you know what even us having this conversation, things like that, and I'm sure for others hearing it, it's their wake up of like, okay, yeah, you know what, time to change it around.
Yep.
You talk about not needing to push harder, push softer
Yeah.
to move your life forward, to attain goals. How do you mean that?
So I said earlier, I had that pattern of when my life got hard, I always added more. I said yes to the big project at work when I was already at my wits' end, those
Mm.
kinds of things.
Yeah.
And so there is something so empowering of when that rises up in me, because the urge is still there. I don't think we get rid of triggers. Like they're there. You're just now more aware of them. But when that rises up in me, when I go, you know what? Actually, taking on more is not what I need. What I need to do is let myself rest. It's hard. I have to battle a bunch of thoughts within and get my
Right.
mind to be kind to me. But when I do it and I soften, meaning I give myself that day of rest or whatever it is, every single time I come out on top. Like the letting myself rest the day, I have so much more energy than the couple following days that I do more than I would have been able to do, things like that. So
Mm.
to me, it's all about, and when I get that urge to push, knowing my history of hitting the gas when it gets hard, that radical act of going, nope, I'm not going to do that thing that something within me drives me to do. I'm going to rest. I'm going to soften. It's changed everything for me. Like I have so much more patience. I'm so much more relaxed. I feel like in life, when hard times come up now, there's this space between me and that thing that lets me pause, take a moment, and then decide how to act. Where before I didn't have that moment. It's all reaction.
And isn't it interesting? I call it taking inventory.
Mhm.
And you look back at those times where you fought yourself and finally rested and
Yep.
reflected, what came about? If you take inventory, well, what did I do? Well, you know what? I read half a book that I've been meaning to read.
Yep.
I meditated. I wrote in my journal. I
Yep.
maybe got started on something else. There's so much that comes from it. We don't see it that way. We just worry about these things. Um, how do we change it? Not easy.
No, it's first getting to know yourself though, because I don't think there's a
Mm,
one answer to that question. You have to kind of know what your patterns are.
sure.
For me, it was over a period of time, multiple practices came in my life that were the right thing at the right time. Yoga Nidra practice, though, is the one that really rewired how my brain works because it invites in just becoming aware of everything. So you become aware of how you physically feel, but then you explore your thoughts, things like that. And I started to realize that part of myself, I like to name parts as kind of for myself in my own journey. And I have this part of myself that like needs to be needed. It came from childhood, those types of things, where my worth came from in childhood was being needed.
Oh, sure.
But when that part rises up, like to know she exists and then to figure out a way to meet her needs without giving into her demands of let's do more, more, more is powerful. It's changed everything.
We're,
And so
we're
I
the
think for
same
each
way.
person, you have to find that path.
I'm seeing the same thing, people pleasing. That's
Yeah.
the need to be needed, but
Yep.
we forget that we need us.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. Like when you can, instead of looking for that outside of you, you can turn towards yourself and go, actually, that my hitting the gas pedal was wanting people to notice what I'm doing or whatever it is, because what I needed was really to pull back and take a break. For some reason, the desire to do was opposite, but what I needed was rest.
You know that little getaway that I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I've reframed it. It's a work vacation.
There you go.
It is. I'm
Yeah.
working on myself. And I will be doing things for work, but now it's fun. There's no pressure, there's learning, it's a whole different mindset. You have this course, self-guided, Rest to
Yep.
Rise on your website. It's all there. Like at the accountability, the meditations, which are guided by the way, the modules, and it's so cost effective to
Yeah.
get you out of this mode of of not resting and realizing the new rhythm, the new you that can be born from this. How do we connect? What's your website?
My website is www.thecreatrix, so THE hyphen Creatrix, CREATRIX.net.
Love what you do. This is
Thank you.
kind of the secret to life, I have to say. If you're stuck, if you're stuck, like literally, if
Yes.
you're stuck and you're not moving forward, maybe you're trying too hard, and maybe you gotta, maybe ease back and take a look at
Pick
this
up.
in a different way. Get some clarity, find creativity. By the way, we're all creative. Everything we do is about creativity. It's about creation. How did we
Yep.
get here? We were created. And I'm not
Agree.
I'm not talking in a religious way. I'm talking about, that's how life
Yep.
begins.
Yep.
So
Sometimes
creative.
when you think of it as creativity too, like now I think about cooking, which I love to do, as the same way I think of painting, that it's like part of my creative practice. And it's funny how it shifts just to think of it that way.
If you look at many job postings now, let's say it's in the tech world, they'll say, and we're looking for a creative problem solver. It's all
Yep.
there. So how about this? Create a new life.
There you
Create a new life.
go.
Dawn, great having you on here. Thank you for the insight.
Thank you.
And let's rest.
Sounds good.
Yep. All right.
I'll
We'll talk.
enjoy mine. You enjoy yours.
You got it. All right. We'll talk soon. Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.